Is it a little loud?
Can you describe what kind of property have you seen? What kind of territory were you allowed to? I mean, not allowed, but you got access to. What were you?
Well,
describe it in detail.
It's 2,700 acres in rural countryside, not near a big city. It's about an hour and a half north of San Francisco in Oakland. And when you're there, you come to the gate, you come to the front, and then down the road are several checkpoints. And it's really a space between two hills. The 2,700 acres, the land, the club is in a gorge. So there's only one entrance. And that's through the gorge, which we drove through. And then once inside, we went to a few of the clubs, tried to stay away from people. Because every time we talked to people, we had problems. They asked us about our membership or basically thought we were male prostitutes. And so then we just kind of hid out in the woods because we got questioned by security several times when we were openly walking around. So at that point, I just wanted to get the ritual on video, so we hid out in the woods. Because other reporters had snuck in and been arrested or been caught in the past.
Did you have any troubles? I mean, somebody trying to, I don't know, threaten you or not threaten, but I mean...
Well, I did get threats after I got the footage, because it took me 3 weeks to edit it to put it on local TV here in Austin. And it wasn't the White House. It was the governor's mansion. You see, because President Bush was running for president. He wasn't president yet. He was governor of Texas, where I bullhorned him and exposed him being a member. And it had been on CNN that year that he was there. He was there that year when I was there. I didn't see him. I went to the governor's mansion right by the Capitol where we're going, and I bullhorned there. In fact, we can take you there. It's right here, and I can show you where I bullhorned him. Yeah, we're just driving past the spot at the governor's mansion where I told you it was anything but a Luciferian twit. A Luciferian twit, Bush.
July 15th, we were in Northern California. They're trying to ignore it. George Bush is down here at the governor's mansion across the street from the Capitol.
Bush is giving speeches in front of the owl. We have photos of that. It's in the film. And we've got reports that they are involved, that Camp Hillbillies is the camp they're part of, does take part in the ritual. People don't take part every year. And then there's other rituals that are done, too, in the 15 days they meet each year, July 15th to July 30th. Mm-hmm. But we know George Bush was there because it was on CNN. That he was meeting, the Governor Bush was meeting with Colin Powell and Bush Sr. and Dick Cheney, deciding on who his running mate would be for the 2000 election, and that Dick Cheney had been chosen. And they announced a few weeks later that it would be Dick Cheney, after we'd shot this and talked about it.
And what did he do in particular near the owl? What did he do?
Well, they wear red and black robes, so we don't know what they did. We don't know who's who. They're wearing robes.
Mm-hmm. But you just know that Bush was in particular.
Well, we know Bush was at the Grove. We don't know if he was part of the ritual.
Oh, okay.
What we're saying is we know this is how they dress up. They, meaning the Grove members.
Mm-hmm. Do you think Bush performed any rituals like Tony Blair?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you know for sure? Or
yeah, it's skull and bones, yeah. Every member is born again in a coffin, does bizarre rituals in a coffin, and runs around.
Like what?
Runs around practicing, it's been on national TV here, practicing mock human sacrifice, screaming, yelling out to Satan, just you name it.
Okay.
But here it is.
He's not for family values. He is nothing but a Luciferian twit. A Luciferian twit, Bush. You may think you can beat on the human population. We say no to you. We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Long live the Constitution and death to the New World Order.
Were you stopped? Did somebody ask you to leave? Did you say anything like that?
No, nobody messed with us. We have free speech. If they do ever arrest me, I'll sue them.
Not arrest, but just ask you to leave, turn off the camera or something like that.
No.
So how were you threatened? What was the threats?
We were threatened by phone calls, by emails. Some of them just, we're going to get you. You've gone too far. Hang up calls like you live in a White House. I see your little dog. And then there were also people sending me emails going, I'm a member, you bastard. How dare you do this? We're going to get you criminally for trespassing. So there were different types of threats. People admitting they were members. People also emailing me saying I'd got it all wrong. They were members. Things like that.
And what did you initially decide to go there in person and videotape that? What inspired you?
I had just read about the Bohemian Grove. I knew that world elite went there. Royalty, prime ministers, chancellors, presidents. I knew a lot of big decisions were made there. And then I heard this wild story of this idol and these rituals they did. And so British media was here covering me doing another story here in Texas. And they said, well, would you sneak in there for us? We know some people that work there. We can give you a map. We can help you. And I said, sure. And so 6 months later, we went out there and to Northern California and did it. You asked about guys talking.
Yeah.
You can hear some of the conversations in here.
What is that going on?
This is one of the clubs, one of the private clubs where they're having a party. They're just doing business and talking about how bad their wives are, stuff like that.
Have you recognized anybody? Any
Like I told you, these guys are all either in strategic positions in academia, media, banking, or they're billionaires. And I did recognize a few people with my eyes, but your eyes can see a lot more. I saw Colin Powell. I saw Federal Reserve Chairman Greenspan, but I didn't get video of them because it's hard to shoot video when there's a camera on your side. These guys were talking.
Reagan was a turning point for us. Didn't realize at the time it was. And he took a shave for us on the road. No, it's probably as accurate as it is.
So, that's the kind of stuff you would catch. They're walking by. Reagan was a turning point for us, neutralizing the liberal Democrats. And then other guys walk by and they're talking about nuclear reactors. So you only get little snapshots. Reagan's a turning point. Nuclear reactors. You know, this gives you an idea of just everything you're hearing is about mergers and power and systems but how do you pick it up? Because they're all just coming by you. Imagine if you could actually sit in on all of this.
Did you see somebody well-known with your own eyes?
I did see some congressmen. I did see some governors. And then we have photos and list the people we saw in the film.
Which congressmen and which governors?
I saw people like Colin Powell. I saw people like Federal Reserve Chairman Alan Greenspan. But I couldn't run up with my little hidden camera and stick it in their face, or my cover would have been blown. I was trying to stay away from crowds of people when I was in there.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen them actually in the ritual, in the robe?
No, when they have the robes on, it's over their head. So you don't really know who's in the robes.
Have you seen any Russian politicians there, or are you aware of somebody?
Yes. Yes. The head Russian foreign minister, and I'm going from memory here, in 1954, it was in a major Michigan newspaper that the Russian foreign minister, back when there was a big Cold War going, the Bohemian Grove was so high level that to meet with President Eisenhower, he went there to secretly meet with him. And you can go pull that article up. I don't have the exact article in front of me, but it was in the mid-50s. And I even forget the name of the Russian foreign minister, but I have the article.
Mm-hmm. And you probably haven't seen any when you were there.
There are a lot of foreigners there. I'd say it's probably about 70% American. But then you've got Dutch, British, German, Russian, Japanese.
What about Gorbachev? Probably.
Yes, I have read that Mikhail Gorbachev has been there. But I didn't see him there when I was there. Mm-hmm. But he hangs out a lot in San Francisco. He runs the Gorbachev Center in Presidio. We were inside about 5 hours.